Hey everybody, this is John again, back on Snowflake Mountain, where millennials and otherwise helpless people come to learn basic stuff on how to do it. So today we are literally going to sow our seeds, and you definitely reap what you sow. Today we're going to start about 370 different plants, and by now hopefully you have your seed starting kit. Inside this kit, there are ones that have 16 pellets, 50 pellets, 72 pellets. This is a 50 pellet tray. They start off like this, thin, dry, and we're gonna show you step one is to add water. If you look over here, you'll see some of them we've already started, and they actually go from that about 1/2 inch thick up to as much as 3 inches thick. So you see, you pour the water over the pellets and you make sure that all of them are submerged, and they will start to rise. If you look over here, my trusted sidekick, Kobe, helped me fill these already. These are already started to rise. And then when it seems like they've stopped rising, you add a little bit more water because they gotta soak it up. All right, so while this stuff is rising, because it does take about 20 minutes for them to fully rise, now's the time you can start making your labels, because a lot of these things look alike, and when they first start to germinate, it's hard to tell them apart. So you get a waterproof marker, write what you've planted on there, and you take this, you stick it in, you'll see, this is before, but you'll see after. Each of these are gonna be labeled because each of them will require different care later on. But these seed starting pellets actually are made up of a great seed starting mix, a combination of topsoil and peat. So you actually don't have to add anything else. If you wanna start your seeds in pots, you can do that. Just go and buy yourself a good seed starting mix. It ends up being the same thing, but this is actually designed to be really easy, and they actually turn into their own little greenhouses. All right, where the hell is this guy, Snowflake Steve? He is never there when we need him. I'm gonna give him a call. He should have been here by now.
Hello?
Is it Snowflake Steve?
Yeah, sure is.
This is John. You were supposed to be at Snowflake Mountain about an hour ago. I needed you to help me plant the seeds.
I thought you were kidding about planting.
So yeah, you know, to grow your own vegetables, you got to actually put them in the dirt, right? You take the seed, you put it in the dirt.
Yeah, I don't eat vegetables from the dirt.
All right. So where do you think they come from? How do you get your vegetables?
I get them at the supermarket like normal people.
Yeah, well, you don't need to do that, okay? Sometimes you got to get dirty, and yeah, Snowflake Steve, there's no hope for you. Goodbye. All right, so by now your pellets should have risen to about that size. The smaller ones rise to about this size. And if you look in here in the top, there's a hole in the mesh. That's where you're gonna put your seed. So what you do is take out your seed collection. I keep mine in a binder like this with the tops open. You don't wanna have your seeds stored in airtight space because you can get mold on them. These are seeds I've collected from all over the world, and I'm super psyched. So one subscriber asked, why do you plant so many plants every year? Well, not all of them are gonna survive. There are bugs, there's fungus, you gotta keep an eye on them. Don't worry about that, but also I give about half of my plants away each year because I want people to see how easy it is to grow their own food. It's much easier to plant seeds if you put them on a plate like this. You can see them, and what you want to do is you can use your finger, poke a little screwdriver in, make a little hole about 1/2 inch deep wherever you're going to plant. You take one seed, you could take two, and because not everyone will take hold. So see, it's not an easy thing. So you drop your seed right in there. Kobe, take a look in there. You can see the seed. Don't worry if there's more than one in there. You can see the seed in there, and drop a seed in each one or two. Why do I keep saying that? Because you can always clip off the second one. You take the one that's growing the strongest, let that one grow, and you don't want to have two plants growing in the same seed pellet or the roots will strangle each other. So see the seeds in there, then just put a little soil over it. Don't pack it down too deep, just lightly cover it so it's nice and comfortable in there. And you want to keep your seed pellets always a little damp. So you don't want them soaking wet, you don't want them to dry out. You want to keep them lightly damp. So now we put all our seeds in, labeled this row as dill. we're not planting the zucchini seeds today, but I want to show you up close. So if you see, this is the rounded side, that's the pointy side. You actually want to plant the pointy side down because that's where the roots come out of, and it'll push this up out of the soil. So you take the pointy side, put it in one of the bigger ones, and you push it straight down. So if you can see, the rounded side is up top. You want to push it below the surface and then cover it up just like everything else. All right, so we put all our seeds in. What each of these trays come with is a dome that goes on top. And you take your plastic dome, put it right over, and keep it closed like that. Okay, so the perfect positioning of your plants is with the dome on in a place that gets natural indirect light. So you don't want direct sunlight shining on your plants because as they come up, it'll be too hot for them. So as you can see, this is in a windowed area. It can be near any window. Don't worry, these seeds have been coming up for millions of years. They know how to get out of the soil. Just be patient and keep that soil damp and not wet. All right, my seed starter trays are in my indoor greenhouses. You could find these online too, but you really don't need them until you really got a lot of mature plants growing. You're gonna be fine with your seed starting trays. And you can see I've got a fan in each one because you need to circulate the air if you do have a greenhouse. Later on, as things start to come up, I will come back and tell you how to take care of them. So for now, sit back, watch, and enjoy.